right. I think that felt like 30 seconds. Well, thank you everyone so much for being with us today for AIOps Manage and Enhance webinar brought to you by IBM along with Flosum and Quality Clouds. We're so happy you can join us today. Let's get started. So in terms of our agenda, we'll go through a couple of intros and some general housekeeping. We will have one of our speakers take us through Manage and Enhance the AI Ops overview, followed by AI Ops core capabilities and a technical architecture. We'll have Flosum and Quality Clouds take us through the functionality of the products built into the solution. And we'll do a 10-minute or so Q&A and a slide on how to learn more. Today, our speakers are Jack Davidson, who's the partner sales lead for Salesforce practice at IBM. We're so happy to have him here with us today. Also, Scott Carruth is representing Flosum, our VP of Customer Success. We have Ian White, Managing Consultant for IBM. And we have John Castillo, Head of Partnerships and Alliances at Quality Clouds. Now, in terms of the timing for today, we're here together for 60 minutes. We probably won't use all of the time, but we have carved out at least 10 minutes for Q&A. Q&A can be put into the chat button on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. You'll see a welcome chat already there, so if you want to just test out the chat, please do so. We ask that you hold questions, maybe jot them down, keep them in your head till the end. We'll read out all the questions. Everything is being recorded today, and we will send out a follow-up email at the end. So with that, Jack, I'm going to kick it off to you.
Awesome. Thank you for the introductions, Lauren.
Yeah.
This is a exciting release for us. Woohoo! So let's jump right in. One of the biggest issues that we hear at IBM Consulting, we hear from our clients who are heavily invested in Salesforce, and likely what you guys on the phone are already experiencing, is are we really getting the equivalent value from what we're spending on Salesforce? And we're stoked today to talk about a new solution from IBM that integrates Flosum and Quality Clouds, and we have jointly developed this solution that will hopefully change that narrative moving forward. Let's kind of start with talking about the challenges that we all have when managing Salesforce environments. Enhancements from the business are basically taking too long to implement. Every company operates their development to launch cycles differently, but one thread remains consistent, is it just takes too long. And the longer it takes, really, the more expensive it becomes for the organization. In regards to the tech stack, multiple tool sets, or in some cases, siloed tools being used for things like observability, DevSecOps, monitoring, reporting, and so on. But in most cases, there's no underpinning layer that continuously scans for quality and security. Our tool, Manage and Enhance, will help you establish and maintain those quality standards moving forward. Another big challenge we see is triaging issues, actually knowing what's going on. So with Manage and Enhance, we can now automatically ingest Salesforce logs and analyze them with AI and act on problems immediately, automatically, and really proactively. One of the other big things we help our clients with typically in IBM Consulting is eliminating technical debt. All of our clients have invested in Salesforce to do things better and move faster, using configuration instead of massive amounts of custom code. But we all know what happens is you wind up having massive amounts of custom code. Our work at IBM often involves identifying technical debt, remediating it, and when needed, possibly starting up a new org and starting fresh. This tool will dramatically reduce this issue before tech debt goes out of control and, quite frankly, in production. Most of our clients have multiple orgs, and some of our clients have hundreds of orgs. So yes, multiple org management becomes a huge challenge from an operations perspective. Another big issue is org consolidation. Some multiple org clients would really love to streamline or consolidate their existing orgs, but it just feels too daunting, usually because of the amount of technical debt that they have to work through. When we're working on technical debt, and this is really the key, or release management or quality enforcement, what are we not doing? We're not working with the business on innovation. So our entire mission is really to shift resources away from managing technical debt and toward innovation, essentially. And with our partners, Flosum and Quality Clouds, we typically reduce the cost of running and maintaining Salesforce by 40 to 50% of their current operational spend. When you build custom code on Salesforce, you take the responsibility for that code's vulnerabilities. Salesforce's responsibility model is basically shared. But if your code introduces additional security risks, your company is on the hook and owns that risk. And we've all read the headlines and seen how that's affected other major organizations, even as recently as within the last month. So on to the next slide. Let's walk through the impact that we typically deliver when we apply our full transformation model across culture, process, technology, talent, and data, and really how that approach translates to this tool. So from a cost perspective, what this tool brings to the table is typically a 40 to 50% reduction in operating costs. We achieve that by shifting teams toward a business outcome mindset. It's really not just efficiency, it's alignment to the outcomes that matter most. From a speed perspective, as much as 70% improvement in time to market is what we're seeing. That comes from modernizing processes and tooling, but also embedding a true DevSecOps culture and automation end to end. This creates a streamlined lifecycle from requirements all the way into operations that accelerates delivery while maintaining control and security. We also deliver meaningful improvements in stability and reliability. High severity incidents typically drop by 50%, driven by AI-powered insights that allow teams to detect issues earlier, understand the context that created the issues, and resolve problems before they escalate. It's a shift from reactive firefighting to predictive operations. Finally, we see a 40% reduction in general in mean time to recovery. By introducing insight-driven automation and continuously improving processes, we're able to shorten the time it takes teams to restore services. So automation, AI-enabled tools, and human oversight skills all work together to create a more resilient operating model. So across the board, cost, speed, stability, resilience, we help clients move from a traditional operations model to a modern, intelligent, automated model that's directly tied to business outcomes. We built this tool as an extension of an existing IBM asset that's already proven in the market, and it's called the AI Ops platform. Our AI Ops platform gives Salesforce teams a single interactive observability dashboard that replaces slow, fragmented monitoring. It unifies licenses, APIs, data storage insights, provides real-time analytics, and predictive root cause detection, and automates key workflows like ticket creation and stakeholder alerts. With the AI Ops platform, clients typically see a 30 to 40% reduction in mean time to resolve off the bat, native with the AI Ops platform. Also, a 20 to 40% improvement in operational efficiency and meaningful gains in reliability, user experience, and operational overhead. This is important because AI Ops is really the foundation of this asset that we've now extended with this release by bringing in the additional capabilities from Flosum and quality clouds and tightly integrated into a single orchestration platform that sits above the instrumentation and observability tools layers. Ian will speak next about the AI ops at its core, and my friends Scott and John will move into more depth on how they operationalize release execution and enforcing governance and code quality in a couple of minutes to kind of tie it all together in this unique and industry leading asset, really. So, next slide, please. Our overall approach to manage and enhance for Salesforce combines AI-driven DevOps, AI ops, intelligent case automation, and rigorous quality and AI reviews. We start by using AI and DevOps to deliver faster releases with fewer hours of manual effort. And then AI ops in and of itself streamlines operations with capabilities like AI triage, Salesforce knowledge mining, and intelligent deduplication. Finally, on the right side, our quality and AI review component ensures AI enabled development and strong AI quality enforcement, which leads to faster, higher quality output. All of this results in Salesforce capabilities that are either enhanced through AI or delivered out of the box with AI created configurations. So with that, I'll turn it over to Ian to talk more about the AI core capabilities and what it delivers in its native format. Go ahead, Ian.
Thanks, Jack. So as we've seen, AI Ops is increasingly important in organizations because it helps you manage your complex data-intensive environments with ever-increasing demands for higher reliability and efficiency. It seamlessly integrates with service management and observability investments that you've already made, bringing proactive issue detection, faster incident response, and greater operational efficiency. So this diagram shows IBM AIOps ingests development insights from Flosum and quality clouds, error categories, metadata logs, deployment KPIs, data flows, application and integration layers are all pushed into AIOps and provide real-time dashboards, automated root cause analysis, and proactive deployment alerts. Could I have the next slide? Thank you. So IBM Consulting AIOps platform provides a vantage point for the end-to-end IT lifecycle. From here, you can obtain deep insights into the efficiency and performance of various lifecycle phases that constitute the IT value stream. So it's acting as an orchestration layer, and it sits architecturally as a layer above the instrumentation and observability tools. And we split it into three hubs. So the Insights Hub provides information at a high level for management. The Operations Hub is for managing sort of day-to-day tasks, and we'll cover these in later slides. The Instrumentation Hub has built-in adapters that integrate with and extract essential data from a wide range of enterprise tools and cloud providers for analysis, visualization, and enrichment. So next slide, please. Thank you. Ooh. So we're on to service management. So this is part of the Operations Hub, and it reduces noise and helps with prioritization by categorizing tickets into system, user, service request, or informational. It'll auto triage using predictive resolver group and assignee, and it identifies similar incidents. You can use generative AI to summarize, letting resolvers bypass sifting through lengthy conversations on a ticket history, and instead they obtain a rapid snapshot of the current status. Automated root cause analysis and assistance further reduce the mean time to resolve. When a ticket's ready to be closed, you can again utilize Gen AI to summarize the resolution notes, no more manual typing it up. It updates directly into your ticketing platform and thereby improves the knowledge base, all without ever leaving the AIOps platform. So next slide, please. Integrated Operations is a module that offers comprehensive visibility into the application landscape through a unified interface. It's presenting detailed service map and topology and reduces mean time to identify. It includes interactive features for displaying performance metrics, alerts, anomalies for each node with multi-layered drill down capabilities into individual nodes and errors, so operations engineers and SREs gain unparalleled insight into their IT landscape. Additionally, the module provides advanced functionalities like job management dashboards, generative AI assistance for error log analysis, and significantly enhances operational productivity. Can I have the next slide? Thanks again. So security operations is designed to assist you in safeguarding your hybrid cloud solutions, streamlining identity and access management implementation, ensuring robust data security for critical enterprise information. This module provides visibility and insights into the IT security aspects for end-to-end IT lifecycle in a single pane. Be it static or dynamic application security testing, code quality, container security, common vulnerabilities and exposures, or other advanced insights for unusual data access patterns or user behavior, active attacks, or potential risks. All of this is covered for the full stack of your solution. Next slide, please. So, still within our operations hub, product engineering offers a centralized view, allowing you to track the progress of your projects throughout the organization. It can provide a comprehensive visibility across all ongoing activities. It provides advanced capabilities to manage development and release. So it's employing generative AI again to ingest logs following a build failure and aids SMEs and developers in precisely pinpointing the root cause behind that failure in near real time. With this, DevOps engineers and development team can avoid logging into multiple tools and understand the problems and spend much less time in analyzing the DevOps pipeline failures. So release will be a lot more efficient, much less risky, thus accelerating time to market and enhancing your business value. Can I have next slide too? Thanks again. So now we're moving on to the Insights Hub. So the IT value stream management provides visibility into the impact of IT on the business process. So it maps critical business processes and KPIs to the underlying IT landscape. The solution provides context-based correlation of the IT anomalies, bottlenecks, alerts, incidents, with that of the business key performance processes. Typically, these have been assessed independently in the past. However, a consolidated view showcasing the interrelation between the KPIs, supported by AI, presents through a unified interface with near real-time data can profoundly influence your business operations. Next slide, please. So IT governance and reporting. It's a module for consolidating all of your metrics and KPIs, objectives and key results, and external reports in a unified interface. It's a single pane view for governance, integrating custom external reports and streamlined insights and decision making. So it can really sort of drive data-driven access plans for you. Next slide, please. So finally, sustainable IT operations provides detailed carbon footprint analysis and various levers to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Operations in this solution provide reports and dashboards that can be periodically reviewed by IT to try and hit your sustainability metrics. This includes measuring the carbon footprint reports against a baseline, pinpointing opportunities for carbon optimization, and forecasting the impact of implementing recommendations across many years. And finally, if we go to the next slide, we realize that not all organizations require all of the AIOps features. So there are a variety of solutions available. We offer it as a software as a service or on private cloud or even some on-prem solutions. It's possible to select different modules at different solution tiers. So you can go for a basic, standard or advanced approach to further tailor the offering to your business needs. However, the basic capabilities of the instrumentation hub and the governance and reporting are always included by default in every single solution. So with that, I'll thank you for listening and pass you on to Scott.
Thank you, Ian. I appreciate you and getting further insight into all the capabilities that AI Ops Manage and Enhance offer. We'll now shift over to how Flosum helps. Flosum is a native managed package of Salesforce that allows companies to accelerate their DevOps, from moving metadata components from their lower environments through the lifecycle, their CI/CD lifecycle, into production. And as an integral part of AI Ops, we're able to pass along the information that is collected and produced through that lifecycle back into AI Ops for that holistic observability and orchestration layer, which is very important when you think about looking at the entire lifecycle of a business producing solutions for their end users. To go further, we're talking about here that Flosum provides a fast and efficient process by which to deploy your metadata components, enforces code quality through secure gates in partnership with Quality Clouds, maintains your compliance, and helps eliminate a lot of manual processes that introduce risk in those deployments. Next slide. So as Jack shared earlier, some of the challenges faced by customers are deployments taking too long, hard to deploy certain components. It's easy to overwrite someone else's work. There's no quality gates to enforce rules and procedures. And it's hard to just manage the movement of a lot of metadata. Next slide. That's where Flosum comes in. Again, we're a native Salesforce managed package focused on DevOps. Our focus is helping you streamline the development and delivery of your code through a controlled motion. In doing so, we reduce costs. We remove the noise in the manual processes that you have to go through. And in most cases, we're reducing costs by up to 50%. Furthermore, that drives a lot of value because through this motion, you're eliminating very expensive systems that are not necessarily connected together. You're now in a holistic environment. That then drives faster ROI for a lot of businesses. Sometimes we're seeing an ROI of 1 to 2 months from the time that you get up and running. And that native architecture means that you're in a safe and secure environment. There is no external need to connect to other tooling, which brings risk into the motion. Next slide. So some measurable marks. Again, these are examples of what we see from some of our customers. 40% improvement in non-release deployments. On average, deployment time is reduced by 67%. So what takes 2 or 3 hours to deploy, now we're talking less than an hour. By reducing a lot of the manual efforts by 46% and automating a lot of the steps that you go through pipelines by 42%. So overall, I stated earlier, we're seeing our customers deploy their metadata components in a much faster motion into their environments and into production in less than an hour on average. Next slide. So as I pass it on to my friend John with Quality Clouds, Flosum provides that innovative full native architecture that offers unique capabilities that overcome the limitations offered by other tools that typically sit on top of a Git-like structure. And with that, let me pass it on to John, who will tell us more about Quality Clouds and how they fit into the orchestration layer that is AI Ops Manage and Enhance.
Thanks a lot, Scott. And thanks to everyone for pulling this together. It's fantastic for us to be here and be able to provide some value to what we're looking at for many of our customers. On this slide, we really want to showcase, and many of you have maybe seen the iceberg slide where it really demonstrates that much of what you see in functionality as well as the experience that you have, especially in this case with Salesforce, there's a lot of stuff going on underneath. And the value of Quality Clouds is to be able to expose and show you what that is. And we were able to, through our scanning capability and our governance capabilities, be able to expose some of the things that you don't see that's underneath the iceberg, which is, the levels of customization. I think Jack pointed out very much, how things take too long. The investments that are being made in Salesforce sometimes have lots of technical debt. That's where we're getting to, right? And maybe even understanding how many of your licenses are not being used, the levels of configuration, as well as, getting yourself more back to an out of the box context instead of the deviations that are done typically within many organizations. Security vulnerabilities is a large one that we're seeing start to trend up. So overall, what Quality Clouds is meant to do is to lessen the uncertainty in your platform, meaning that we're able to go in and check on the health of it, show you that in very distinct terms and going all the way down to the code and the configuration levels, lessen the vulnerability that you have. So we have about 900 business practices, or actually best practices, that define how you develop on a Salesforce platform. Therefore, you can reduce your risk in that area, as well as some of the growth. We talked about, and Scott covered this, as well as Ian, as well as Jack. Customers really want to focus on the future, and there are some things that are holding them back. Our ability to be able to expose some of those things that are holding you back so that you could chart a path towards getting to more of the strategic things you'd like to do is where we'd like to sit for you. And what we provide here to manage and enhance as well. Next slide. Um, we've talked about these DevOps challenges. I think everybody's covered it quite well. But here's our view on it. Where I'd like to focus mostly is around the point that I believe Jack brought up, which is around remediation versus innovation. Are you leveraging your resources in the right way in your organization such that you're focused on those things that are actually going to either build the business, provide new revenues or new streams of ways, or new ways that you can actually extend some of your technology, in this case, Salesforce platform. And in this case, you want to be able to get yourself to more of a standardized way of doing development, which our tools help you to do, as opposed to spending more time, doing support functions. You're more focused around those things that are more innovative within your environments. Certainly, compliance and security risk, and being able to upgrade your platform so you can become more agentic is clearly some of the focus points. But until you start to fix how you do things and what your people are focused on, you'll have some challenges getting there. Next slide, please. A little bit on Quality Clouds, who we are and what we provide, and some of the value that we provide to both the AI apps platform as well as our friends over at Flosum on the release side, is really the concept of shifting left. So what that concept is really about making sure that you focus really strongly on how you're developing, how you're creating your standards around that development, such that you have a cleaner and more efficient package to be able to hand off to some of your testing as well as your release phases. So what you see here on the left-hand side is really, what we had been talking about. How do you see technical debt? What is the governance? How do you optimize against that? So we have our scanning capability as well as the debt manager to be able to do that. But on the right-hand side is how do you prevent yourself from getting into those nasty situations going forward, which is to be able to live check, be able to use our quality gates where I talked about our 900 best practices sit, and be able to, through our quality center, continuously look at where that development is happening and some of the standards that have been employed. Next slide, please. On the CI/CD, we talked about this, our focus around the optimization of the ROI as you start to get better and more efficient. We clearly believe we can reduce a lot of the cost, up to about 40 to 50%, That's why we align with IBM and we align with Flosum in their belief on the same thing. So we know that as they start to manage through, the releases, how you test more efficiently, the build in terms of how we are able to provide standards on that, as well as the planning going forward. As part of the circle of CI/CD, we fit very nicely into that as well. Next slide. Lastly, benefits. I think Scott covered a lot of this as well as Ian in terms of all the benefits, but us too. So we're able to reduce the ROI by 3 times. This is proven through a lot of our customers that we have today. The elimination of incidents up to about 80%. We've got a customer today who has done that in spades, as well as the decrease on the high severity security issues, where security is a big focus for many, and our best practices actually handle that. So with that, I guess I will hand back to Jack to go forward in the presentation.
And I will also hop into, we already started getting some questions in the chat, and thank you so much to our speakers for keeping it brief and jam-packed at the same time. So we have plenty of time for a really great Q&A, and I already have a couple of questions, but I just want to call out that anybody can list their question in the chat box, or the Q&A box, but the chat box would be easiest, and we'll read them out. The questions will be anonymous, and we'll get started with what I already have here. Let me just start from the top. How does it help us reduce Salesforce spend? Can you touch on that in some way, shape, or form?
I think that question applies to all of us to answer. So when you think about the technical debt, you think about all the things of organizing your developers and your QA testers, et cetera. You want to be able to have a holistic view of what you're working on and not have different teams doing different things and not unified. So AI Ops Manage Enhance is all about seeing everyone and where they're touching. Part of that is Flosum, part of that is Quality Clouds, but all together in a holistic view. And I would pass it to Jack and Ian to maybe explain where the integrated ops or service management, as Ian earlier shared, can help highlight that cost savings.
Yeah, I think it could potentially result in a sunsetting of some tools, observability tools, or other types of tools that are siloed in the organization. It also helps reduce headcount in terms of how many people are physically involved with the release planning operations. How the re how your processes are currently defined today. It helps you rethink about how the organization brings new features, requests to the dev teams, and really helps streamline the amount of physical labor that's required to interface with the various tool sets to get things done, and rapidly speeds up deployments on the back end. So I think overall you're going to see a percentage of reduction in cost on potentially tooling. You're going to see a reduction in cost on the amount of touch points that you have from a people perspective that are required in a more manual process, and other things as well that may translate upstream and downstream to the organization. But that's all part of when we take a look at an opportunity, we will have in-depth conversations about that. So we'll sit down with you in a half-day workshop, for example, and understand what your current processes are, how they work, how they function, what's unique about your organization, and determine how and in where which areas our tool can help streamline a lot of those things that are costly to your organization, and then come back with a true assessment in terms of what that looks like in quantified dollars as a potential cost savings to you. And that really becomes the ROI of the tool itself.
Yeah.
Ian, I'm
So
not sure if you want to add anything to that.
yeah. So I mean, it really is a productivity multiplier. So you're freeing up time from senior people to concentrate on higher value opportunities, if that's more deployments for getting more features in, or
Speed to
so
market.
it's, yeah, exactly that. And you've got, like I said, the single pane observability that's helping sort of compress all of that time to market. It's yeah.
And I think just the use of AI overall helps streamline and rapidly accelerate uh, problem resolution. So those things typically today have some sort of process where it goes back and forth, validated, quality
Yeah.
checked, and then reported back to the business or reported back to the individual dev teams. The dev teams make their revisions, they submit it back. Whatever that process is today for the organization, a lot of that can be streamlined just by the native AI capabilities built within the tool itself.
And let's be honest, none of that work is work that people are excited to do, is it? I mean, so it's freeing you from the burdensome part of your work, and sort of freeing you up to do, all of the more exciting stuff.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. We do have some specific questions coming through,
So,
one of which is, what are the sources of the data to help identify ops for improvement?
Yeah, Ian, I'll let you take that.
um, so it depends on the investments already made. So it reuses whatever observability platforms are in place. It so for cloud providers like AWS or Azure, I'm sorry, AWS will be using CloudWatch and everything else for monitoring. So it's about ingesting what's already there, bringing it into AIOps. It feeds it into sort of like its own data lake to be able to process it and enrich it with generative AI, and then passes that back. So yeah,
As a single pane of glass, as opposed to, working within those tools, report outs directly in a siloed
yeah,
fashion. So this
Right.
this this kind of marries everything together. And
yeah.
like I said, it's a layer that sits above those tools.
Yeah. Let's move forward with another question. This is a great one. If I already have Flosum, or I already have some DevOps tool or even quality clouds, for example, how does this fit in for me?
I think it broadens your reach, honestly. So it helps you think about more holistically the code aspect on quality clouds if you're only a Flowsum customer, or if you've got another DevOps tool, which is fine. This helps streamline and allow you to think differently about how you operationalize your DevSecOps processes and what your overall single pane of glass is, and it gives you better visibility into what all these tools within the ecosystem are doing at the same time because of the hooks that it has into the various tools, and it's able to ingest logs and process those logs from those tools and give you that single pane of glass point of view. So it really is dependent on, and I think it's a great question because there are a lot of scenarios where there are mature Flowsum customers, and I think this just further extends their Flowsum within their organization and gives it added capability, gives it added horsepower.
Yeah, Jack, I think what you and I've chatted about in the past has been that orchestration layer or that orchestration fabric, connecting the dots, bringing it all together. So instead of, having 20 different screens and 20 different places to look, you now have one screen, one place to look, gives you all the information you need in one place. Then you can dive down where you need to focus.
Right. From a quality clouds perspective, the add-on value that we bring with Flowsum, I think to Jack's point, just enhances the overall solution as a package in the DevOps space. So I see it just as the same, more efficiency, better enhancement, greater product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I,
And
Lauren, we have a lot
you
of
might need fewer people to operate it than you currently do. You might have some, a group of people trained on Flosum, you have a group of people trained on other tools, and so on and so forth. And this just brings everything into one tool, which could reduce the footprint required to manage and operate all of these tools within that single pane of glass.
Right.
Yeah. Lauren, we have a lot of great questions in the chat and in the QA. Should we start there?
Yeah. I'm gonna get to every single one. I've got them all. This question came up twice. Is the proposed DevOps solution capable of managing the deployment of Salesforce managed packages, including associated configurations?
So I think the earlier question was, how does the solution help with managed package applications where the code is hidden from others? And then the second to that is how you would manage the deployment of those managed packages. First and foremost, I think when we talk about managed packages from other vendors, they would have to be part of that whole holistic chain, that fabric, and that's typically not the case. So I would look to them to be part of the conversation. Having done several large Salesforce deployments in my time working with the other providers like the Certinias of the world, there's always that challenge of working with those third-party managed packages that come in and have to get deployed, and there's issues. So there's something definitely that have to be worked out there before you can really think about it inside of any orchestration layer. To that end, then, how do you go about deploying those? I think that's a great question for us to go explore, both from a Flosum Quality Clouds perspective and the holistic AI Ops Manage Enhance perspective. So I think that's a great takeaway for us to think about how we would address the deployment of managed packages. Typically, those third-party providers of managed packages have their own installation process that they have to go through. And then once it's deployed, then we come in and do our additional updates where you're adding functionality on top of it. And AI Ops is orchestrating over that.
Right.
Well, hopefully I've given a decent answer, but I'm happy to do a sidebar with you to discuss further.
Perfect. And this is a great question right here. I really love this one. Does the AI identify how to refactor tech debt and use standard objects and product features instead of custom code and extensions? And is there an org health and alignment score?
I love this question. And John, I think between you and I, there's a piece of this, and then Jack and Ian, there's a piece of this that all of it comes together.
Right. Yeah, for us, on the Quality Cloud side, we do provide health score within our dashboarding. Once we've done the scan, we're able to show you how healthy you are, and what that really results in is how much technical debt you actually have. We break that down into very distinct areas around, performance, security, manageability, and how you sustain the platform. So we're able to break it down even further into where the high, mediums, and lows are there, and even give you a sense of where you need to focus. So that idea of how healthy you are, where you need to focus, and prioritization around those things that are more meaningful to you as it relates to how we executed the scan is really important. But I'll hand off to you, Scott. I know there's some other areas in terms of efficiency.
Yeah, I think about it from the Flosum side, where we can look at that those Apex classes, et cetera, and analyze them with the AI functionality that's built into Flosum. And then on top of that, with what we have with IBM, there's the ability to look at it and say, how can we improve? Jack and Ian, from your perspective, your thoughts?
Ian.
Okay. So, yeah, it's a lot around the code quality and the container security and bits that it's looking at. So it's analyzing all of the old feature branches and other bits. So it's going through that, and the AI's bringing forward sort of insights from that. That's yeah, it's going through your repositories and and showing you where action needs to be taken. That's kind of
Yeah,
it.
to kind of put a wrapper around that, I think the holistic solution can help identify where the technical debt is and how to do things more efficiently. When you think about, and I've seen this in my time, where some developer who decided to go rebuild a standard solution from Salesforce custom and made a custom solution when they shouldn't have, how do you stop them from doing that? How do you make sure that, hey, that functionality already exists? I think those are things that can be extended on this through all of us in this combined enterprise solution.
And Ian, this might be for you too, but how does the solution work across multiple orgs? Is it hub and spoke? Is there a holistic business view?
Uh, right. So when you, yeah, without getting too technical, when you set up the AIOps solution, you create a tenant, and within that, organizations, and within that, applications. And when you're going into the instrumentation hub, you're pointing it at separate areas, be that, different ITSM tools or whatever. You can set it so that there's like Keycloak in the background to segregate that data if you want to. So you can stop parts of an organization looking at anything from other parts of the organization, depending on how you would like it set up. So it depends on the requirements. I'll be honest, because some places it's in financial services they're big on certain banks aren't allowed to have gained information from other banks or whatever. So it's very flexible is the
Perfect.
answer.
And just keeping with the specificity here, does the solution provide rollback capabilities for managed package deployments in the event of failures or unexpected outcomes?
So I think that's one of those things I'd like to dive into this one. I know I know what I know the problem, lived it. How do we address it in the future is really the question, because managed package deployments from third-party vendors are unique into of themselves. And typically, if you don't have access to the metadata code to deploy it, it's hard to uncover where the issues are. That's why you do a lot of testing. John, anything from the quality code side that you would take on that?
Yeah, just from the quality standpoint, we're able to upfront when you think about our gating, our quality gates, just really block a lot of the bad, um, call it bad code or bad configurations. And it's really based on, what the customers what they value in terms of the standards for the development. So yeah, that just makes things very efficient overall. So the idea of moving into some of these other environments with some of these issues usually
And
blocked
they're
off.
they're based on business rules, right, John, that are pre-established.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other feature too that's, we have is the ability to build out business rules. So IBM would be able to help with the customer to be able to build out different rule sets as well as the standardized rule sets that we have within the tool.
I think the bigger issue here is that should a managed package get deployed, how do you roll it back? And again, it's an issue of that managed package has it been tested well before it gets into higher end environments. I know I have several customers that have significant managed packages that they have in their environments work through before they ever get them deployed, and it's a separate process from your typical direct code metadata promotion and deployment or unmanaged packages or unlocked packages which are open.
Mhm. Yeah.
I invite the opportunity to chat further and really understand the problem, and then we can figure out a potential solution.
So
With that, actually, Scott, thank you for that. We just got through all the questions, and you led me right into how to chat and how to continue the conversation. So, what we'd like to see happen here is for you to want to learn more about AI ops, everything you saw today, how it helps to reduce operational costs, and how, do you learn more and move forward? The best way to do that is through this link here in the deck, which we'll also send out via email, and it's also at the top of the chat box. This link is an intake form. It goes directly to this team. It goes into the hands of the IBM team, of which Flosum and Quality Clouds has visibility into. So that is the best way to learn more. It has some specific questions there, and that acts as sort of like a hand raise. And I think we're just about at time. If there's any closing words, Jack, you and or any of the speakers would like to say, you've got a couple of minutes to do it. Otherwise, from that, this is, being recorded, and like we said, we're going to follow up via email. So let me hand it off to the panelists to close us out.
Yeah, I mean, I just like want to say one other thing. Our intent with this offering is really to help you become the team that fixed Salesforce, not the one that continues to make it more expensive. So this is all about cost savings. It's all about efficiency. It's all about driving productivity, and it's all about leveraging bleeding edge stuff that's out there, that's available, that's now proven and tested in the market, and it's being used by our peer organizations out there in the field. So this is proven technology. It's a proven asset. That the components separately from Flosum and Quality Clouds are proven solutions with the expertise that they each bring to the table. So we're just super excited to combine all three of these into a single offering, and I think it really differentiates us in the market to have an actual solution that is not geared specifically to growing a consultant's footprint or growing seat-based licenses or growing revenue.
Yeah.
Instead, it's all about saving our customers money, and that's what we're mostly excited about. Anything from you guys, John, Scott?
I'm going to echo. I'm super excited about this solution, having been part of the kind of framework of helping build it out and integrating it with my team. The ability to have a full end-to-end orchestration layer that gives you the visibility you need about, from the time your tickets come in to the time you're deploying stuff to production, what happened, how it went. This is the solution for you if you need that.
Yeah, I echo all of that. And thanks to Jack, Ian, Scott, and also you, Lauren, for pulling this all together. We're really excited about this opportunity. We think that, at least from a Quality Clouds perspective, that we bring some value. The integration with us and Flosum is amazing. And the way that IBM has brought us all together and with the orchestration layer above is amazing as well. We see a lot of value in it. We know that we can hit those marks that we've talked about, which is the 40 to 50% reductions. And to what Jack just said, I totally echo it. It's really about making things more efficient, saving your customers a lot of money, and doing the right thing for you going forward so you can focus on innovation. So thanks again.
Perfect. I think this concludes the webinar. Thank you so much, everyone in the audience, for your great questions and for joining. And stay warm and safe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you all. Bye bye.